So I've applied my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the matte and poreless collection, and I am the shade 355. When I highlight, I usually use the color Fawn with my LA Pro Girls concealer, but today I'm going to use the color Toffee. Toffee is a bit cooler and I have a warm undertone, so I'm used to using Fawn, but I always try to switch it up with my concealers, but we'll see how that works out. Also went in with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NW35 just to give it an extra pop. And that's a flat eyeliner brush by e.l.f. Then I'm going to take a dry triangle sponge and I'm just going to blend out my concealer. When I blend out my concealer, I always start from the bottom on my cheekbones and go up to like my ears. And then I go up on the insides of my nose and I just blend out. And the key to your highlight is blending. Blend, blend, blend for the gods, honey. Now when I blend the bridge of my nose, I fold my triangle sponge just so that it can be narrow enough if I don't want to use my beauty blender. Next, I'm going to take a dry beauty blender and I'm just going to blend out some more just so that everything is evenly blended and you don't have any harsh lines. And now for some more blending. I'm going to take the same beauty blender that I've used and I'm just going to spray it with some e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. And I'm just going to keep blending out the areas that I've highlighted already just to make sure that everything is evenly distributed and evenly blended out so I don't have any really harsh lines. Now I'm going to take my flat top kabuki brush that I use for my foundation and just blend out the areas where the highlighting stops. So that means just like around my forehead, highlight my nose. I'm going to brush that a little bit and blend up my temples and down on my cheekbones. Now I'm just going to take my Ben Nye banana powder and my triangle sponge and I'm just going to take the powder and press it onto my highlighted areas and then I'm going to let that bake for a while. While my highlight is baking, I'm taking my Black Radiance True Complexion Custom Concealer in the medium to dark palette and I'm using the darkest shade for my contour. And this brush is actually a pointed brush that came with my kabuki set that I ordered off of Amazon. I'll put the link below so you guys can see. Now I'm using the pointed end of my beauty blender and I'm using the blotting motion like downward for my cheekbones and towards the front of my face. Just to blend it out more, I'm going to use my rounded kabuki brush. Now I'm going to use my NYX Highlight and Contour palette and an angled e.l.f. brush, and I'm going to use the darkest color that I have in my palette to set my contour. Exclusive DJ Beats. I'm going to use a regular rounded powder brush to buff out my highlighted areas, and for some reason I didn't buff out my chin area as well as I should, so make sure you buff it out well enough so that it'll blend and not look harsh. Right here I'm just using my beauty blender to blend out my nose contour. Next I'm going to take my e.l.f. Dare to Dream Collection Mulan Beauty Book and I'm going to use the Dynasty Blush for my cheekbones. And then I'm going to go back in with the Tranquil eyeshadow on top of the Dynasty, and just to make it a little bit more red and pigmented. Now I'm going to take my e.l.f. Golden Bronzer palette and I'm going to use the two shades at the top for my highlight. Now this is a single baked hard candy eyeshadow that I actually do not know the name of, but I'm going to use it for my inner corners for an inner corner highlight. Now this has been a favorite since the day I bought it, and it is the hard candy baked eyeshadow Mod Quad in the shade Pink Interlude. My eyeliner was applied off camera because I struggle so hard with my wing liner, but I'll catch it one day. But this is the Maybelline Colossal Mascara. You know that face you make while you're preparing yourself before you set your face? That's what that was. But this is the e.l.f. misting set. And make sure that if your face is powdered or you set your face with a powder, that you kind of drench your face because you don't want the ashy, chalky look. Right here, I took a video off of my Snapchat because I wanted you guys to see from the natural sunlight.